My name is Mark Fratto, and I'm the voice of the Washington Commanders at FedEx Field. You're listening to the Command This podcast with Steve, Dev, and Phil.
Good evening, everybody around the world, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. It is October 12th. We are breaking down our Atlanta Falcons pregame. I'm your boy, Steve. We have none other than Phil to my left. We got Dev down in the torture chamber. Here we are. We are Command This. Thank you very much for tuning in. This is episode 224 for your boys. We're calling this one Bed, Bath, and Bijan. Bed, Bath, and Bijan. You guys remember there was a lot of buzz around us potentially. A lot of people wanted Bijan Robinson.
Good reason.
Damn good reason.
Yeah, well, behind our offensive line, he'd be Antonio Gibson.
You think he would just be a guy?
Here's the thing. We would draft him. He wouldn't do anything behind this offensive line. And immediately people would say, why'd we waste another first-round pick? Ron Rivera sucks. He can't draft for nothing.
Yeah. True story.
We are fine at running back. We are not fine at line. And we are not fine at, run call design and run calls. I got issues with that. We'll get to all that fun stuff.
Can't run down 27-3.
No, maybe you mean once. Can't you do it once? Can't you do it one time? A draw. Anyways, the NBA season's kicking off, so I had to wear my Wizards shirt just to get in the spirit of things. Here's hopes to a better Wizards team, but not going to get my hopes up. We know how that always goes when we cheer on our lovely, lovely Wizards. That's a topic for another day. At least
Dev's rebuild continues.
At least Dev's Knicks were competitive. Our poor Wizards, man. I know. I'm just saying last year, anyways. Last year. They were competitive, man. We were not. We were
worse this year.
Gracefully tanking. We're still gracefully tanking. I don't know what's going to happen.
Gracefully tanking for the better part of 3 decades.
Yeah.
I think y'all went for it a few times. It just didn't work out.
That is true.
I don't feel like this. Okay. Side note. I don't think the Wizards have ever actually gone for it.
I mean, y'all spent y'all's assets though, man. Y'all went out and got Porzingis when you needed them. You went out and you traded Wall when you needed to. You went out and got guys. Knicks sitting on like 10, 12 first round picks and a whole bunch of youth. And ain't really moved nobody, man. So I think they're holding out for Embiid, hoping to be traded, or Towns hoping to be traded, or gasp Donovan Mitchell gets his request and come to the Knicks and said, I think that's the one they're waiting on. It'll be next year, but I think that's what they're waiting on.
You want Embiid? Just ask Harris, man.
Harris. Hey, Mr. Harris, I'm also a Washington fan. If you're watching, I would love Embiid on the team. We have Barrett to offer you, Mitchell Robinson. You know what I'm saying? Basically anyone on the team, and about
16 first round picks.
Yeah, a bunch of first round picks, man. Take all of them for Embiid.
Why not just bring him down to DC?
Can he play left tackle?
I'm talking about the Wizards here for a second.
Fuck the Wizards. Can he play left tackle? That's what I like to know. Can he play
or center? Let's start center. I think center is a little more
left guard.
Yeah.
Is it bad we can just rattle off positions offhand that we would want Joel Embiid to come in and play in a sport he's never played before?
Yeah.
Worked out basketball.
Well, into it, fellas. All right. Who are the 2023 Atlanta Dirty Bird Falcons? Phil, let's start with you.
They are a team that has relied upon a couple of things. One is the ability to run the ball. God, does that sound familiar? The ability to run the ball effectively, and not just with Bijan either. Tyler Algier, and even
he was a 1,000-yard rusher last year, I think, or pretty damn close.
Yeah, he was very effective last year.
Yeah, he was a 1,000-yard rusher last year. I think he did it in 9 games or some shit too.
Yeah, Algier was good, man. I think I had him on the fantasy team.
The only game I think Algier didn't have that was good was against us last year.
Yeah, but then the other guy.
And Desmond Ridder could even pick up some yards with his feet.
Didn't Cordell Patterson kick our ass last year?
Patterson kicked our ass 2 years
ago. I know he won, but he
Okay. 2 years ago he did, and we still managed to win.
James Nicholas from YouTube, thank you for tuning in. Says if the Commanders lose the next 2, they definitely need to tank. 8 and 9 is a road to nowhere.
The only tanks are going to be the ones in our logo.
I wish.
Tanking does not work. Tanking has like a 2% chance of winning, as proven in the past. The Texans have been tanking for almost a decade.
Well, it's not a lottery, so you could technically just lose more than all the other teams.
I know.
It's not really
but all of those teams,
science to it. They should make a lottery, though. The NFL should definitely. Imagine the draw that would make if you just had a halftime, have the NFL lottery like the NBA. Imagine that show they would have.
None of those teams that tank, the proverbial tankers, you know what I'm saying? None of them have yeah, why are there balloons going on my screen? None of those teams are built like this team is right now. They're truly not. And they also keep striking out at quarterback. Every one of those teams. What team keeps tanking and still has that franchise quarterback? None of them.
The only team that's ever
now
they done it twice though. They got Watson and Stroud. Yeah. Both of them were pretty good in Texas.
But they tanked
how many division titles and Super Bowls have they won with that?
It just happened. They didn't have C.J. Watson for 1 or 2 years before he raped and.
Deshaun Watson was there like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, we only played like 1. He played his rookie year and his second year. He did really well. Then he got jacked up and he got suspended.
The Texans have been competitive with Deshaun Watson.
No.
He was out for like 2 years with the Texans, man.
1.
He got hurt 1 year and then next year he was suspended.
In 2017, they were 4-12. 2018, 11-5, 10-6, and then that's when the Watson disappeared. He disappeared. He was there 2020, but then after that, they'd all went downhill. So they had Osweiler in 16. They had Watson in 17, his rookie year. His second year, they went 11-5. His third year, they went 10-6. He signed that big deal, and then I think he got hurt, and then eventually they traded him in 2021. He was suspended. So I don't know. It's up for debate.
It's still, and then right back to it. Yeah. All right. And people already want to. It's funny how people want to crown C.J. Stroud down in Houston, where they've won nothing. And when it comes to our quarterback, who is putting up impressive numbers, they're like, oh no, I think we should just tank for Caleb Williams. What?
Yeah, I'm with it. Like
I know you're with it, Dev, but I don't.
No.
I'm like, CJ Stroud looks way better than Sam Howell. There's no way around it. There's no.
I don't know about way better, but he definitely looks like he's a real deal.
Dude, I'm just
way
saying.
better.
And he's doing it with less talent. He's doing it way less talent.
I give him that. But I mean, different offense, different set of circumstances. I don't think he's played the Bills and the Eagles this year. It's it's everybody.
No, they've played haven't played a lot of anybody. They played the Ravens, Colts, Jags, Steelers, and Falcons.
Who are they out of those guys? Who you scared of?
Yeah, the Jags. That's it.
We beat them.
Our quarterback has looked impressive against much better competition. Let's stop that right now.
Yeah. All I'm saying is CJ Stroud is a rookie. He has 7 touchdowns, no interceptions. That's hard no matter who you are. I don't care if you're Brady. That's still tough in almost 1,500 yards. I mean, Sam's way more accurate. It's a wash. But I'm just saying, CJ Stroud is no slouch. He might actually be the first Ohio State quarterback.
It's funny how the same people who want to crown him and talk about how, well, look at the Texans. Look what they did. We got a quarterback who's doing really well, and they want to get rid of him.
I don't want to get rid of Hal. I want
spit it
you got
out.
to play longer.
Oh, you're eating. Okay.
He's got to play longer. You know what I'm saying? For me, and the same way with CJ, man. Except you got him for 4 years. He's a rookie, first round pick. He's going to get 4 years.
5.
Or 5 years. 5. Yeah. How, man, you know, you got to, at the end of the year, I got to know for sure. I don't want to hear this. Let's give him another chance. Let's give him another longer time. We need more time. I don't want none of that shit, dog. If you give me a maybe or I don't know answer, then I need another guy, dog.
Nigel Basham, thank you for tuning in from YouTube. And they got CJ
17
Stroud.
weeks to figure that out.
They got CJ Stroud and they got Deshaun Watson, and they haven't done dick with it.
Yeah.
Let's not.
If I was Houston, if I was the Browns and got the first pick,
it does not work. Not in the NFL.
If I was the Browns, I would get a quarterback.
It works in the NBA because you put 5 players on the court. One player is 20% of your on-court presence. In the NFL, when you tank, you get a first-round pick. They are now less than 5% of your on-field presence because you got 24 guys that play between offense, defense, and special teams. You have 24 positions to fill. You're filling them with 1.
Yes, but high first-round talent, and most of the times is way better than low first-round talent. Most of the time.
Depends on the position you're going for.
It does.
We have a quarterback.
I'm just saying it would be better to finish all the way bad than 8-9. 8-9 does it does nothing for you. Again, it does nothing. It does. What does it do? It gets Ron fired. It gets probably the whole staff fired, and you're starting over with like picking 16th to 18th. They're not going to tank. I'm not a tanker. They're not going to tank. They're just probably going to find a way to finish.
Well, Nigel over here.
No, if they go 7-9, I would rather lose. No, I told you, I want to win 17 games or no games, bro. 7 and 8 wins, 7, 8, 9 wins, or barely missing or barely making the playoffs does nothing for us, bro.
Well, James
nothing
says,
at all.
Bronze teams play better as the season goes along. Just hope they turn it around sooner than later. We've seen this. And listen, Ron's win-loss record.
To get down these comments because this dude just made my point. And
Ron's win-loss record is the tiniest upward trend. It's not down. It's barely above flat. It's just his record over the last 3 years. So he's got to have a winning record this year. If he doesn't, then you've regressed. That's all I'm saying. We lucked into the playoffs in 2020. I kind of wish we didn't make it, but whatever. He's hanging his hat on that. Nigel says, tore his ACL year 1. Yeah, talking about Deshaun Watson. Nigel says, I'd trade for Sam Howell for CJ in a heartbeat. I mean, you're getting 5th-round talent versus 1st-round talent.
Yeah.
Is Sam Howell a 5th-round talent now, huh?
I'm just saying that's what he was drafted as.
Don't flip-flop on it, Steve, because you agree that he's not a 5th-round talent.
He's not 5th-round talent.
You just said he was. Don't do that.
No, I'm just saying what his draft grade is, not talent-wise. He was drafted in the 5th. Of course, in most cases, a 1st-round pick is usually better.
Don't say
yes, not 5th-round talent. 5th-round draft pick versus a 1st-round draft pick.
Don't do that. I will hold people accountable.
I love Sam Howell, man. And I don't want to, honestly, it's cheap. Granted, you lose a year, but he's going to be way cheaper than these guys. Imagine if Sam's the guy, how much money we can save for the next 2 years. Now, they should have started in probably last year, but you got 2 more years with him on dirt. He's getting paid peanuts, by the way.
We're only 2-3, guys.
Yeah, no, it's not the end of the world.
He probably would have saved Turner's job if he had played last year.
James Nicholas says, oh boy, Taylor Swift is in attendance tonight.
Well, I'm going to watch that game. It's going to be a flat booty white
check
chick.
It out.
Says, give CJ, Terry, Jahan. He cooks. CJ doesn't need Terry and Jahan because their receivers are putting up better numbers than ours. We just spread the ball around way too much. Yeah, Nico is. Sam just spreads the ball way too much. And I don't know if that's by design or that's just how the game flows to him. And it's not a big deal. You don't have to get those guys numbers. Like, you're still producing yardage. You're still doing what you got to do. But It just sucks that you have all this talent. They can't.
He spreads the ball around way too much.
Way too much for people to claim to give all these receivers
way too much
1,000
for people
yards.
Who are, and I'm going to use the word, we're 16 minutes and I can say this, way too much for people who are star fuckers.
Yeah.
You don't want wins, you want stars.
Way too much to have a dude that's getting $26 million.
That's what I was going to say. Terry is the highest paid, least producing receiver in the NFL. That's all I'm saying.
I told y'all what it's going to be.
And it's not his fault, though. That's what I was trying to say. It's not his fault.
He's not producing because of any fault of his.
Correct. That's correct. But at the end of the day,
he's got other talent on the team that he plays with.
Yes.
That's a good problem to have.
It is, but like I said before,
there's
not enough for everyone
Curtis
to eat.
Gets hurt, Terry's putting up bigger numbers.
Yeah. You probably have to get rid of one of them next year if you want the others to flourish. It's just going to be a bunch of everyone flourish barely together. Like there might not have been enough yardage for. You might get 3 receivers with 800 yards this year.
Well, Sanders is a free agent, so
yeah, he might not sign at all. Who knows? Marcus, what's up, Marcus? Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you go check out Marcus on SportsView 2 on Facebook. He said, "What's up, family? Here's the difference between CJ Stroud and Sam Howell. The Texans built their offensive line. Boom. That's it. They built it right. They did, and they got a nice little running back in Dameon Pierce too. Sam Howell is not the long-term answer. I don't know how you can answer that question right as of right now. I don't know how you can answer that
because he outs himself in future comments. I'm already reading ahead. Go ahead.
Yes, he said, "I love you, man. We all Commanders fans. We are, and we're allowed to have these opinions. That's okay. You know what? As long as we can have good debate about it and talk about it.
Yeah, it's like Israel and Palestine out here.
Doesn't insult the person versus insulting the argument.
You are not entitled to an uneducated opinion.
We're not. It's in Israel, not Palestine. We can get along over here, man. You know what I'm saying?"
James says, "If Arizona moves on from Kyler, should Washington make a move?" No,
absolutely.
Buda Baker, yes.
No,
absolutely, we should. Yeah, for sure.
Kyler?
Baker,
no, dude,
for sure.
But not Kyler.
Is Kyler better than the quarterback we got? Yes or no?
No.
Is Kyler okay?
What has Kyler Murray showed you that he's better than Sam Howell?
What does Sam Howell showed you?
That Kyler hasn't. He ain't been hurt yet.
That's this true. Offensive line, and look at the numbers he's put up, and take away the fact that all but one of his interceptions was in one game.
That two.
He has 2 games total. He's had 4 out of 5 were in one game. All right. But the question is, what has Kyler Murray proven that makes it worth the draft capital that you'd be getting up to give him?
Yeah.
Versus what you already have with
Cardinals are going to move him just like they moved.
I agree with
Josh
that.
Rosen.
I agree with that.
They're going to get
if it's straight up, I'll let Hal go, bro. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. I like Hal though. I want him to be the guy, dog. I'm not going to lie. I don't want another guy.
Here's the thing. This part of this fan base will never accept Sam Howell. They never will. Never.
I just want somebody
because that's what this fan base does. Dating back to time eternal, or at least back to the 60s. All right. This fan base never gets behind one quarterback. All right. There's always a section of fan base that says, I want to see the other guy, or I want this other guy.
Yeah. That's what we do. But you know why?
And y'all keep talking about raw. I understand it. Kyler Murray's got a lot of raw talent, a lot of raw physical talent. But then all we hear about is how he doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I don't want players who don't give a shit. I don't care how fucking talented they are. Okay? If you don't give a shit, tell your story walking. Yeah. But people want hype. They want stars. They want names. They don't necessarily care if it means wins. But then they can talk about how much those stars are bums if they don't equal to wins. So they feel entitled either way.
But the problem about the people in DC always wanting the other quarterback, that's the team's fault. That's 100% the team's fault. Don't blame the fans. You get 2 guys of equal talent and one's maybe slightly.
Yeah, but you see, I'm not talking to anybody with the team right now, but I am talking to fans.
Yeah, but that's the team. When you have 2 quarterbacks with the same skill set, you don't have a quarterback. You do not have a franchise quarterback.
We do definitely agree with that.
Yeah. All right, let's get down to some of these comments. We got a little off topic here. I'll skim through these. This guy, dude, top left is just talking. Lamar Jackson hasn't won much, but majority of teams would swap him.
Timeout.
Hey, I'm always here for the Lamar Jackson smoke. That's my guy.
I'm the dude at the top left. I will tell you something right now. Lamar Jackson drafted at the end of the first round.
Yeah, they jumped in at 32.
Not a top 5 pick. He wasn't a top 10 pick. Tanking would not get you Lamar Jackson. Who was drafted?
Neither was Hurts. Hurts was a second round pick.
Yeah.
Hurts was a second. Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
Don't sit here and act like tanking gets you Lamar Jackson.
It depends on who's coming out next year.
I mean, if I got Chester Caleb Williams, dog, I'm gonna let Sam go, bro.
You know what?
I'm sorry. I don't care if Sam has. I don't care if Sam goes to Pro Bowl this year, bro. If we're picking number 1 and Caleb Williams is here, I'm picking Caleb, bro. I'm sorry, and I love Sam. I love Sam.
Who is Caleb Williams behind this line?
Caleb Williams he's still Caleb Williams. He's still Caleb Williams behind this line.
It's too early to talk taking, fellas. We're 2-3.
It is.
Ron's teams, they rip off win streaks and they finish. We'll see. Let's address this after these are supposed to be the next 4 games are supposed to be semi-winnable. At least we thought so before we started the year.
The Falcons aren't good. They have one good aspect of their team.
Yeah, they're not. They're definitely beatable. Definitely beatable. Dev, back to go. Let's go to you. Who do you think this Falcons team is, man?
They're a ball control offense, man, that relies on a run game, which is very good with 2 running backs that are legit starting NFL talent. They actually have a third one who doesn't play. Cordell Patterson. They have a tight end. They have 2 tight ends. They run a 2 tight end set with Jonnu, who's their best tight end in my opinion. Pitts is their most talented, who doesn't really do a lot now. I mean, this year, anyways.
I just I think, Nigel, we all agree with you. This team would have been better off signing Kirk Cousins. I don't think anyone disagrees.
Oh, yeah, 100% true on that.
He means now, because earlier he says, I want RG3 back. I want that hype.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. But
people want hype. They want stars. They don't want
Kirk. If Kirk's free agent next year, dog, Kirk wanted to come back, man. I would, and like I said, unless this dude legit becomes a franchise quarterback, then there's no reason I wouldn't bring Kirk back next year if he's free agent.
Yeah, I'm telling you, you either have a quarterback, you either have a franchise quarterback, or you don't. If you're,
I'm tired of starting. I ain't got time to watch another dude grow and become something, man. I want the dude to be ready now, bro.
It's a 4-year cycle, man. That's how we live in this fan base.
It's been 4 years. 4 years ago,
coach to coach.
Yeah, I'm not trying to heir that, bro.
Yeah,
but I get it. But I think the Falcons are a team that's ball control offense. They're going to try to minimize their risk on offense, and I think they play pretty sound defense.
James says, "Nah, Phil, I'm just pulling for Sam. Just starting a conversation. The perfect situation would be to build around Sam. Yeah, that'd be perfect. Build around Sam.
You have a guy who has shown that under adverse circumstances, he's producing.
I don't want to build around nobody, dog. I want to win, dog. I don't want to hear this. We're learning. We're developing. Quit developing guys, man. Get guys who can play. How about that?
No more culture talk.
Play. Yeah. The problem is everything else is falling. For years, it was we have everything but a quarterback. Now it's we have a quarterback and everything else sucks. Everything else.
Everybody's just playing.
Enough things suck. That's where we're at right now, and it pisses me off.
It's because we lost, bro. We didn't feel this way too.
Well, we had some really bad losses. That's why it wasn't. Right. They weren't competitive losses. The Eagles game was
not the Philly game.
Yeah, Eagles game was very competitive.
And honestly, the Bears game got competitive because of
Sam Howell.
It would have been competitive if you just stopped one fucking guy. Put all 5 defensive backs on one guy. No one else did shit. You know what I'm saying? He had 285 passing yards. 230 was the one nigga. The rest of the motherfuckers was just out there, dog.
Yeah. I think this is Aaron Scher on YouTube. Thank you, Aaron, for joining us. Says Murray isn't very good. I'm staying with Sam. Plus, he gets too injured.
He does get too injured.
Still debating about Kyler in the chat. But yes, Aaron says Atlanta has a run game that 2 tight end can play. I'm telling you, that's my favorite set. Yeah. We could somehow find a way to run a dual tight end set. You can get rid of one wide receiver.
It's the most dangerous receiver, bro. And I understand they got Drake. You know what I'm saying? And he might go off on Forbes. Don't put Forbes on Drake.
Yeah.
Drake London's not a burner. So
either way, don't put Forbes on Drake.
Because he's not a burner, you can put someone like a St. Juiced on him. Someone who can physically match up with him, because Drake London's big thing is that he's 6'5". He's a big physical receiver. So you need a big physical corner on him. You put St. Juiced on him.
We need to go back to bend, don't break, two high safeties. That's what we need to do.
Yeah.
How you gonna have 500 yards on us and no points?
6 first-round picks and you playing like some doo-doo. Playing like some fart, man. Come on. You gotta do better than that. Some Stankonia. Good album, by the way. Yeah. Marcus says Robinson is the key to the Falcons. That's right. Let's look at some stats here real quick. We're going to go through and quickly look at what they're cooking with here in the Falcons. Sorry, let me get out of the environment into this one. All right, a little bit bigger. Team stats right now. Overall, their offense in points for the audio crowd, they have scored 83 points, and that's ranked 27th. They've netted 1,584 yards. That's good enough for 20th. On the defensive side, they've allowed 96, which is good enough for 10th, which is surprising. And they've allowed 1,476 yards, which is good enough for the 7th overall defense in yardage. Right. Not too shabby on
so their
on
whole
defense.
thing is to keep games low scoring.
That was kind of our strategy last year.
Yeah, it's 2022 us.
Yeah, for sure. As Dev said, for sure.
For shizzle.
For sure. For shizzle. For shizzle. And still arguing about Kyler in the chat. I love it. Keep talk, guys. We talked about this before. So far, the Falcons are sitting at 3-2. They beat the Panthers 24-10. They beat the Packers 25-24. Lost to the Lions 6-20. Lost to the Jags 7-23, and they beat the Texans 21-19, sitting at 3-2. Third down conversion sitting at about, says 38%. That's good enough for 19th. Their defense is only allowing 33%, which is good enough for 5th in the league. So it's not bad at all. Passing, Drake London has a pass. Desmond Ridder sitting at 102 for 156, a 65% clip, 1,073 yards, 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. So nothing crazy at all. That's probably bottom of the league. No, Sam has sitting at 1,300, 6-6, but he's almost throwing 70% completion rate.
Yeah, see, the one thing is they don't give up a lot of passing yards, but they do give up passing touchdowns. Yeah. As you can see there, they've allowed 7 passing touchdowns, whereas Ridder has 4 himself. So I always like comparing offense and defense when it comes to where teams are scoring their touchdowns.
Yeah.
Well, 7 touchdowns isn't bad over 5 games.
No, but relative to their passing attack, see that you gotta look at where are teams having success scoring. Are they scoring in the air or on the ground?
How many passing touchdowns we gave up?
How many did we give up in this year?
We gave up 4 in one game.
I don't even want to know, man. Passing touchdowns, we have given up 10, Jesus. And that's good for 29th out of 32.
Right.
So there you go. There you go. Nigel says, love you guys, though we all commies fans. We suffer together. I was at the game last Thursday. I'm sorry, man. I almost had a ticket. I didn't get to go. Phil and I haven't been since the home opener, but it's all good, man.
Keep up Lamar Jackson. I went to the Louisville game when we beat Notre Dame.
There you go. All right, rushing. As we know, it's funny that Bijan's getting all this rub and all this burn. Thinking of Indian burns, man. 367 attempts, 364 yards. Bijan has not scored a rushing touchdown. How crazy is that?
He's got a few passing, all right.
Yeah, we'll get to passing in a second. Tyler Algier, the guy we talked about, who was already a good running back. 62 touches, 191 yards, 2 touchdowns. And Desmond Ridder is, he came out mobile out of, I think he's a Cincinnati guy, University of Cincinnati, if I'm not mistaken, Bearcats. 2 touchdowns for him as well. Let's move on to.
Are the Meerkats taking? Can we change our name to that?
Meerkats? I don't know. Jonnu Smith is their leading receiver. Tight end Jonnu Smith, 21 receptions, 246 yards. How about them apples? How about that? No touchdowns. Bijan is their second leading receiver. 21 receptions, 146 yards, 2 touchdowns. Kyle Pitts, tight end, their third leading receiver. 18 receptions, 208 yards, no touchdowns. Drake London, the guy who I think this team tried to get the year Terry was available.
No, Jahan.
I'm sorry. Jahan was available, and The Falcons were able to snag him prior to. Big body guy out of USC. People lauded him as kind of like the next Mike Evans, just because he had the same frame as him. 17 catches, 204 yards, 2 touchdowns. So it's funny. So Kyle Pitts went from doing nothing for the first couple years of his career to now being third on the team in receptions and stuff. So it's kind of funny how that works out. He's not even the
number one receiving tight end, though.
He's not. Jonnu Smith, that's what I'm saying.
I told y'all, Johnny
Smith is an example of when you draft a guy high and you automatically think he's going to be a star.
I was telling who's that? Oh, in the group chat. Kyle Pitts on the Falcons is like having a Lambo and only being able to drive it in a school zone. That dude's so good and he's so underutilized. He needs to leave that team. Arthur Smith, all he wants to do is run. He's a run-first coach, and that's fine. But you got Kyle Pitts, dude. What are you doing? And you know me. I'm dual tight end threat would be the coolest thing ever to run. It's impossible to stop, and I think they might destroy our linebackers. I don't know. We'll see. We could throw it. They could. Every pass could go to Jonnu Smith, and we still would not cover him. So apparently,
we saw that.
James says, "Do you guys feel this is a must-win against the Falcons?"
For the health of this fan base, yes.
It's must win for what though? I think you gotta
if you're playing for anything.
Context. Yeah. We said that when they played the Bears last week. It wasn't a must win, but it was a must win if you wanted to show the world on national television that you're building a legitimate program. And clearly we ain't there yet because got our asses spanked by the Bears. You got the Falcons, the Giants, 2 winnable games. The Eagles, probably not. The Patriots and the Seahawks.
We're getting the Eagles the second time, bro.
That's four games that are kind of winnable. I don't know how many more chances you have because the Commanders have the second hardest remaining schedule for the rest of the year. Did you guys know that? Giants have the number 1. Commanders are number 2. Isn't that crazy how that works out? Hardest remaining schedule. Cowboys, Dolphins, Rams, Jets, Niners, Cowboys. That's tough, man. Super tough. Super tough.
I hate to say this, but I think that's more of a strength of schedule or versus not. It's a record thing.
That's all it is, Phil. It's just record.
Because a lot of the teams ahead of us, I'm not impressed by. Dallas finds ways to look great and then look awful.
Yeah.
The Giants are trash. And
I'm not saying anything. If we lose to the Giants, man,
we'll find a way. I have a splitting the season with them.
I got nothing left for Ron if we lose to the Giants, man. Marcus said, "Is Jack Del Rio stop playing Tecmo Bowl schemes and design more pressure package? Maybe we'll be better." Yeah. All right. Quick defensive looks here. They do have a really awesome kicker, Young Ho Koo.
Young Wei.
I like saying Young Ho.
I like Young Ho.
On the defensive side for interceptions, they only have 3. That's all by Jesse Bates, the third safety. On the sack side, they have 1, 2, 3, 4,
Bates is
5
from,
total sacks.
Cincinnati, right? He played Cincinnati last year.
Let's not talk about sack totals. Every time we talk about a team having a low sack total, they go off on us.
This is kind of irrelevant. Only big names on their defense right now: Bud Dupree. Tackle totals: Caden Ellis, Jesse Bates, Richie Grant, Grady Jarrett was also pretty hype coming out of college too.
They were having 9 sacks against us, bro.
Yeah. Quarterback hits 6'6", 6'3", 322. That number could go up on Sunday. We shall see. But let me get out of here, and
you'd like to think that with the extra days, they've really gone back and retooled how they're going to go about this offense. Like I said, everything has got to be quick. I've been saying this for a couple weeks now.
Yeah,
you gotta go with the quick pass, and this worked with the quick pass. You see that we were going quick pass early, and we were moving the ball, and then that opened up downfield later on, and then you saw where these 5-yard routes, 6-yard routes that were open. Suddenly, the 10, 12, 15, 20-yard routes were getting open against the Bears. This is how they got to do it with the passing game. They just got to get Salmon at rhythm early and get that offensive line some confidence, right?
Yeah.
Because then when the Bears started playing up, things opened up downfield. because now they're trying to spread guys out into the short zones. You got to do the same with the Falcons.
That's right.
But same with the run game. Enough of these slow stretch runs. It doesn't work. If you're going to do a stretch run, you got to be able to run bootleg off of it. And we don't do that for some reason. And I wish we would, because moving the pocket would help buy some time for Sam. Not only that, but it cuts half the field off, so he doesn't have to make as many reads. He can make a faster decision, because instead of having to go through 4 progressions, he's only got to go through 2.
I think Phil just did his Washington wins if, ladies and gentlemen.
No, I just
skip down. It's a great strategy. We've looked at the charts. We've seen it. There's proof. They just don't do it. Don't know why.
The enemy.
Yeah.
Listening.
Nigel says, if we drop 2 back-to-back, it's going to get scary. It is going to get. We lose to the Falcons, it's going to get scary. Then you're 2-4 going to the Giants.
Well, they've already lost 3 back-to-back. It'll be 4.
Yeah, that's right, because we started 2-0. Yeah. Oh, man. Must win. Yeah, James Nichols says, Nicholas must win for the fan base sanity. Yeah, that's spot on. Now, I'm not turning on my TV that day.
Soundboard,
on the tush push just
no,
now.
that's on the soundboard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kansas City tried the tush push and got stopped.
Did they?
They got nailed.
They must have took the page out of our book.
Playbook.
They're watching us do the tush push. We don't know how to run that damn play.
We ran it once and it worked. Yeah. We ran it with Logan Thomas. We tried it a second time. It didn't work.
And then you tried to run it 3rd and inches, and Nick Gates just whiffs the nose tackle. I mean, just does the dude's just like, you know what I mean?
I like Nick Gates' attitude. I don't like his skill set, but I like his attitude.
Yeah,
he's a
Aaron
goon.
Says our safeties are trash. I don't know how you go from performing so well to just not performing at all. I don't know.
Trade for
yeah. Giants. Nigel says Giants will make it close.
Honestly,
division games should be close. The Eagles were supposed to wipe the floor. I said, what did we do? We made it close. I just think that's how division games are. That's how I like. I mean, that's why they're such good games.
I think that's because you're in division games, because you played them twice a year. You're guaranteed to play them twice a year.
In London, bro.
You go out extra hard with planning your whole team to play these teams.
Yeah,
that's 6 or 16 games right there.
That's right. Shout out to our boy, Mr. Titan. Mr. Titan checking in all the way from London. They're taking on the Ravens Sunday, 9:30 a.m. Tennessee sitting at 2-3, just like your boys here in DC. So,
fellas, that's a fan, bro. That dude is from Texas, goes to all the Tennessee Titans games, and went to London to see his Titans play, bro.
And not only that, he puts on charitable events, man. That's what he does.
That is a dude that is dedicated and rich. I didn't know what you do for a living. I thought you was a cop. What the hell? I don't want to hear no more about this cop salary stuff. This guy is rolling in it. Would you marry Oprah? You marry Oprah?
Rich.
Are you Stedman? Is Stedman Mr. Titan?
He's Mr. Stedman Titan.
You are engaged to Taylor Swift over there, man. Like, what is going on, bro?
Real quick injury report. There's really nothing to report on the injuries, man. We had Curtis Hodges and Christian Holmes, who don't play at all. Both did not practice this week. Then we had Leno, Obata, and Samuel full practicing yesterday. Thursday's report hasn't come out yet. The Falcons, Calais Campbell, not playing. He's resting. That veteran rest didn't practice today. But Bud Dupree, Caleb McGarry, and Jonnu Smith all limited. I think this is going to be 2 full healthy rosters. Mr. Titan says, I'm broke too, bro. Says, I'm broke. Bitch.
You broke after you went to London. I'm broke before I go to London. So
that's because y'all are on strike like every other month.
Yeah.
I'm good. I've been working.
Man, good times. Matchups to watch for. So we just went over their rosters. Now clearly we know our rosters. Dev, give me a couple particular matchups here that you might be looking for on Sunday.
What's that?
Give me a couple matchups to watch for Sunday.
Whoever Forbes is on in the end zone. That's whoever's Forbes is guarding, that's who I'm gonna be watching to go the fuck off, or at least be tried. I mean, maybe he wins these battles this time, but they're gonna at least try him.
They talking about he might be replaced by Danny Johnson.
Danny Johnson would have got abused too. Dude didn't overthrow a pass. He would have got a touchdown on him. For all the shit we talk, I don't think Forbes allowed a touchdown last game, did he? That was Al Fuller and the safety, right?
Yeah, not straight up. I don't think he did it since the Bills game, right? No, the Philly game. Sorry.
Yeah, Philly game. Nobody's talking about benching Fuller. So I mean,
yeah.
Fuller was on all those though. It wasn't like he was just getting lost. He was literally just getting like outplayed.
Yeah.
But I want to see whoever Ford's guards. Wow, I want to see obviously our tight end or their tight end versus sorry ass Barton.
No, Cody.
Yeah,
Cody.
We'll see, man.
Yeah. What about you, Phil?
A lot of guys got to prove some shit.
It's our front 7 or so versus their run game. That's it.
Yeah.
Tyler Algier is not having a great year. It's funny because there's only 5 carry difference between Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier, right? One has 67 carries, the other one has 62. One averages 5.4 yards a carry, the other one 3.1. What you got to do is you got to get both of them down to 3.1 if you want to have a chance of winning this game.
I think they've been using Algier on short yards, though.
Yeah, but there must be in short yards a lot because, like I said, there's only 5 carry difference between the two.
Yeah.
So you got to get Bijan Robinson to look like Tyler Algier has this year, which is just not as good as he was last year.
Yeah.
That is your key. Our run defense versus their run game. And our run defense has been trash. But let's be also real. Most of the teams we played, we were so worried about their passing game. And I think that's where it was. And then we started getting gashed in the run. And then because of that, we started playing the run. Oops, up the pass. Defense needs to step up. I really feel like that with us now starting to see a couple injuries on the back end. This is where Del Rio does this thing, and I love it and I hate it. This is when he starts getting creative. This is when the defense gets less vanilla.
Yeah, but why?
Every time we start having, I don't know, but every time we start having a couple of injuries, and then he has to get a little creative to get around that.
Resourceful.
That's when he starts doing the things we wish he'd do all year.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that history repeats itself. If it does, hey, I'm fine with being 2-3 now if the defense is going to step up like it did last year, like it did in 2021 when Chase got hurt and we went on a stretch. We won 4 games in a row. I hope that is the case. Now, is it? Time will tell.
That shit's unacceptable, though, man. That it can't be like that every year. Oh, we're just slow starters. No, don't accept that. Fix it. Be fast starters. I hate that. That people say, "What's your identity of your team?" The only identity we have is we're slow starters. There's zero of that. There's zero identity. There's none. What is our team identity? Can either of you say we have an identity? I don't think we do. We're still trying to figure that out.
We are.
There's been nothing consistent with this team.
How save us is what we are.
Yeah, we are
what else you call it? He's the only thing that's been keeping us going.
Team. That's it. We're a pass first team. I don't know what to say. Yeah.
Then build your run off the pass.
Yeah. Matchups I'm looking for really is they're 2 tight ends, man. Pitts and Jonnu Smith. I'm having bad flashbacks of when we used to just give up massive yards to tight ends. We fixed it for about 2 years. We've been okay for 2 years against tight ends, believe it or not, for the most part. And so, I'm interested to see how we take care of both of those guys, Kyle Pitts and Jonnu Smith. So we shall see. I mean, we're going to have keyed in on Bijan, but then Algier is going to be right there. You know what I mean? So, yeah. And Marcus says, that's why I call Jack Del Rio defense Tecmo Bowl scheme, since he only do 4 defensive schemes. Yeah, man, he's got to fix it. Got to fix it, dude. Rivers Reese tuning in. What's up, brother? Says, what's up, fellas? How you doing? Thank you for tuning in, man. Just talking some Eagles, Bed, Bath, and Bijan, our episode 224. Thanks for tuning in. All right. Washington wins if.
We need to smack him in the vagina. That's what we need to do.
The Bijan.
That's what we need to do. Kick that motherfucker in his vagina.
There you go.
Yeah.
The Bijan. We gotta remember that one. If we win Monday, we need a crafty name. That could be a
right. Ouch! Right in the vagina.
Yeah. There you go, Dev. All right, Phil. Let's start with you. Washington wins if.
Washington wins if they
grab him by the vagina.
The vagina.
They beat that vagina up.
Yeah, grab him by the vagina, man.
Anyway, Washington wins if they can stop the run. Period.
Yeah.
Make Desmond Ridder actually beat you.
Look at that. Greg Delaney. What's up, Greg? I'm checking in from Facebook.
Greg feels the same way I do.
There you go.
Stop the run.
Hey.
We know what this team is. They run the ball. That's what they do. That's what you gotta do.
Ridder looked all right last 2 games, man. I ain't going front.
He's looking better.
He's looking all right.
It's amazing how good a quarterback can look when the team can run the ball.
Yeah. Hide their flaws.
Eric, did you hear that?
You know, we are one injury away from seeing a one Taylor Jerome Heineke. You know that? One injury away.
He ain't got nothing on,
Please, God. Please.
Phil, the ultimate nightmare scenario, ladies and gentlemen. We go down to Atlanta. We're playing well. We knock Ridder out of the game. Old, what do they call him?
I know what you're going to say. Comes
back and does what he did before here. Got a disclaimer with the Taylor sound.
Throw a prayer up and
finds
a way to freaking win, man. That is the nightmare scenario. That cannot happen.
You're gonna say. I know what you're gonna say. I know what you're saying. But here's the thing, and it's gonna drive me nuts because if Ridder comes out the game, you're going to see about 40% of our fans on social media become Falcons fans.
I hope not, man.
Yes, they are because again, they're faithful to hype.
I'll be here for it. I'd love to see Heineke play
talent or team. Many people on this team still wish we had Taylor Heineke.
No,
they think we would be 3-2 or 4-1 with Taylor Heineke. I see their comments.
Taylor would not be able to make 65% of the throws Sam Howell's made. I would stamp my life on it with those legal arm balloon throws.
There might be 5 or 6 that he wouldn't made that Howell made.
No, he would have just threw it away.
Howell cannot make the lucky duck.
Yeah, he would have. Taylor would have thrown it away because I mean, let's be honest. Taylor was. I mean, he has more experience. He's been in the league for like 8-9 years. Right?
Here comes Taylor.
Yeah, he's almost 30, isn't he?
Here comes the Taylor ball.
Yeah. All right. Dev, or did you finish, Phil?
Yeah.
Okay, Dev. Washington wins if you're still in the chat.
I've said
Washington wins if. Let us know.
I've said the same thing every week. Don't turn it over more than the other team. Basically, and that's
kind of a foolproof formula.
Yeah, don't turn it over more than the other guys. I'm gonna change it up. If they block, man. Don't let this guy hit the ground. I said it last time. Have some goddamn guts, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Show, have some nuts, man, and refuse to lose at the line of scrimmage, man. Like, it's insane. It's insane. Quit going for double moves, man.
Simple stuff, man.
Yeah,
everything you're saying is fundamental shit.
And block on offense, man. Like,
fundamental shit.
Like I think Ron Rivera said it easy today. Do your job. Don't cheat over to help a linebacker that shouldn't need your help. If he gets burnt, let his ass get in trouble, bro.
Percy Butler, we're talking to you.
The Butler did it every time. The Butler did it.
Rivers Reese says some people I know really believe that and tell me every loss. I think he's referring back to Phil's comment about saying we'd be better off with old. I keep thinking Kirkanuts, but I don't know why that. What's that guy's name? John
Nelson.
John Nelson and Kirkanuts. The old Kirkanuts and Robert Griffin argument. Marcus says, me and Phil know one guy who's a big Taylor Heineke fan.
Sabat, whatever his name is.
Sabat calls into Kevin Sheehan's show. I don't know because they changed the lineup.
He's like white Jesus to her.
I don't even know what she was a big Taylor fan. Marcus says defense step up, run the ball, short passes. Washington wins if. To me, I'm just going to say I'm not even going to put this on the offense because I believe the offense will continue to just perform and score points at an average clip as they've been doing. Washington wins if the defense just plays average. Just play and be an average. Give up 20 points. We can win. It ain't hard. But when you give up 30 plus, and it's not happening. It's not going to happen. Just defense just needs to show up and play average. That's all I'm saying. The bend don't break. We talk about this last show. Give up all the yards you want between the 20s. And at the end of the day, give them 3. Bam. Success. Next drive. Done. I don't know where they're at this point, but that's kind of where we sit. River says, I like Taylor Heineke. Pause. Got to have his sound effect, man. I think Sam is better and will grow to be a good quarterback. All his bad things are fixable. If you go to our Twitter.
I don't think he has a lot of bad things, by the way.
If you go to our Twitter, I posted a video that just kind of went viral. I just thought it was a cool video that I stole from someone else. And it's like 55 seconds worth of Sam Howell throws, background against Chris Berman highlight music. The old. And before the show, it was up to like 30,000 views, and everyone was chiming in. All I said was, listen, these throws, right? Sam has showed me enough that he could be a franchise quarterback. He fixed his sacks, we're in business. That's all I said. And people were taking shots like, I said some of these rookies wouldn't make the throws he's making. That's what I said. Some.
Stop, Marcus England. Stop.
And people were like, he's not a. Greg says Washington wins if Heineke starts without Scott Turner calling plays. Scott Turner's in Vegas, right? Isn't he an offensive assistant in Vegas?
Yeah.
Or a pass quarterbacks? I don't know, something in Vegas. He followed Rodney over to Vegas. Marcus says Quan Martin can change the second round curse now that he's getting more reps. We'll see. I want to see this whole Quan Martin thing. See how
they're gonna pick on him all night.
We've seen it before where guys, once they got out of the doghouse with this team, actually play well. So
yeah, fair enough. All right, I'm gonna check DraftKings Sportsbook here real quick, who does not sponsor us anymore. So screw you guys. And let's do predictions now. Just to pull up the odds here for this week.
Y'all understand, Petty Steve cracks me up because Steve is not a petty guy, especially in his public persona, is not a petty guy, right? In fact, he's not really a petty guy behind the scenes either. Like, he is the nice guy. He is the nice guy that you all see here.
Mildly racist. That is something that Phil or I could not have done right there, is when he gets finished talking and play the gong. You know, it would have been.
Since I'm Asian, I can pull that off.
Yeah.
Okay. The spread right now is Atlanta -2.5. So Atlanta has a 2.5 point spread at home. Normally you get 3. So it's kind of a 0.5 favorite for the Commanders. Call it a pick 'em if you want, with an over-under of 42. So that's what we're working with. So put your comments in the chat right now. For those listening, watching, I see 7. There could be more. Put your score in the chat. I'm locking it. I'm logging it. I'm telling you, first person to nail the score right will get a jersey from this podcast. All right, we'll send you a jersey.
It might be a
we'll send you a jersey. You will get a jersey.
You might get you a 49ers Kaepernick jersey.
It might be the jerseys that they give away at the end of the year and ship off to
Africa. African jerseys. Jerseys that's in Africa.
Let's say Washington Command skins or something.
Yeah. Red Wolves jerseys that never got sold.
Who wants to go first with their predictions? So it's basically a pick 'em. All right, Dev. Let me log these.
I'm gonna match Marcus, man. I'm gonna say 24-20 us. I think we win this game.
Marcus.
24-20. Yeah, it's gonna be one of the ones that we do at the end of it too. It's just like the last two Atlanta games, actually.
That's fair.
Where we just pull it off. You know what I'm saying? We just pull it off.
Ryan Elias, thank you for tuning in. Better late than never. Glad we caught you. We missed Ryan last
week. Burned your jersey, bro.
I burned my last one at the Birds game. Ryan, that had better not have been a Washington jersey. Come on. If it was Rex Grossman, I'd say it's okay. Who was on that jersey is what I want to know.
Yeah, the Tony Banks jersey.
Hopefully John Beck.
John Beck, that'd be cool.
Did you have a Tony Banks jersey, Steve?
No, I did not.
I like that.
Love to find one though. Tony Banks he came from Baltimore, right? He came from Baltimore.
Tony Banks was the ultimate game manager who could pop one deep on you for no reason.
Didn't he work that Baltimore team with Trent Dilfer? Didn't they share the duties that year?
Well, Dilfer came in because Banks got hurt.
Yeah, okay. So Banks was the starter. I remember Banks having a big wind-up throw similar to Jason Campbell's, if I'm not mistaken. Rivers Reese is saying 24-21 Atlanta. Okay. Ryan, you burned a McLaurin jersey. How dare you?
You know, I could give you my address. You could just ship that shit to me.
How dare you?
What color was it? I got a black one, a red one, and a white one. McLaurin.
Ryan gets.
Are you kidding me? Come on, man.
That's what Ryan gets. We're better than that, Ryan. That's what Cowboys fans do. Keep the faith. Give it to a homeless person. That's what I do.
You know you had a Heineke jersey to burn. You know you did.
He got the jersey. He got that. You gonna wear the shirt during the game? The Heineke shirt.
I had the Heineke T-shirt. Yes, it was what is it? The pilot? No, fuck it, Terry down there somewhere. Shirt. No, I have. Oh man, I have two Heineke shirts.
Yeah, both of them.
Oh, I do.
You're gonna wear one.
You are disgusting, Steve.
You're gonna wear one.
I have the pylon dive shirt, and then I have the F it Terry down there somewhere, and he has his eyes closed and he's throwing. That one was just funny.
That's mocking. That's mocking.
You're gonna wear one. Are you gonna wear one during
mocking
the game?
Taylor's fine.
Maybe I'll wear it under. You know what I'm going to do? I need to change up my routine because whatever is happening, I feel like I personally am responsible for some of these losses. So I need to wear something different. I've been rocking the black Crestway. I tried Sean Taylor this past Sunday or Thursday. I might just bust out like a jersey that totally means nothing, like my Josh Norman or my Darius Geis jersey, and just see.
I haven't worn a jersey yet.
Josh Norman's on the Bills.
So
the Bills picked Josh Norman back up.
Ryan said I regretted it the next day. Probably drunk, man.
Bills got Josh Norman back.
It's all good.
Did he finally come back to that dimension that Derrick Henry shoved him into?
I love to have Josh Norman right now. You tripping?
Phil, what do you got for your score? Ryan, put your score in the chat.
Take the Commanders to win 20-17 and bet the under.
20-17 Washington. All right, sitting at 37. All right, Ryan, waiting for your score, man. Let us know. Anybody else in the chat? Greg, please put your score in the chat for a chance.
Nigel left before he could predict that we're going to lose by 30.
Yeah. Damn. Deuce from Red Zone in the Lab. What's up, Deuce? Thank you for joining us. Where is an Albert Hainsworth jersey? I would love an Albert Hainsworth jersey. I had an Arakpo jersey. I gave it away when he left the team.
Titans Albert Hainsworth jersey because I'm close to Nashville. It'd be hard to have one of them.
Yeah.
I used to have one of those Hogs Haven Carakpo t-shirts.
Nice. Ryan saying 24-17. Who? You got to specify. We don't always pick the home team on this show.
Pick a side.
Always pick the home team on this show. All right. For me, see, it's a pick 'em practically over under 42. Man, I think it's going to be closer. I think we can win this game. I'm going to say 21-20 Washington. That's what I'm going to go with. I think it's going to be a little bit closer than we think. It's going to be a nail biter. I think it's going to come down to.
It's going to come down to Younghoe Koo missing
Koo or a Joey Sly kick.
It might come down to our defense, aka the old Colorado, campfire. What we like to call our defense. You guys don't know what a Colorado campfire is? Look that up. You know,
Panamanian Petting Zoo.
Panamanian Petting Zoo is more of my life. Did you read it, Dev?
Yes, I did. I did Urban Dictionary of Panamanian Petting Zoo. But I'm telling you, the Colorado campfire is exactly what our defensive backfield is.
It's pretty bad.
Backfield.
It's pretty bad.
And marshmallows.
Oh man. All right, Deuce, you got a score prediction for us, man? Lay it on us. If you have a score prediction, please share it with us. So we have Marcus at 24-20 Washington, Dev 24-20 Washington, Rivers has 24-21 Atlanta, Phil has 2017 Washington, I have 21-20 Washington, Ryan has 24-17 Washington. So any other score predictions, Will?
Rivers has 24-21 Washington.
Oh, I'm sorry. I transposed that. My bad. All right. So I feel like I should change my prediction because everyone on this show has picked Washington. And that is always. Have we had that yet?
I almost would switch mine too, man, just because of that.
Okay. I'll be the lone dissenter and I'll say 21-20 Atlanta. Just for good juju. That's what we'll do.
So you're saying that Sly's going to miss an extra point. That's actually feasible.
But I think hopefully we'll see Sam. We'll get to see.
I mean, Russell Wilson's washed, by the way.
Arm throw.
Russell Wilson is washed.
We will unload the howitzer. Yeah. Okay. All right. Man. Made it through, fellas. We made it through. Game time is Sunday at 1 p.m. Tune in.
I'll be finding somewhere to watch the game.
I think we have a big proponent of the fan base. We travel well to Atlanta. I think Deuce is going to Atlanta too, if I'm not mistaken.
I was going to go.
Brian's going to be in Atlanta.
Yeah, some of those guys. I'm telling you, when I retire, and my kids are in college, I have this vision of 1 year
living in an RV,
getting an RV, and following the team every game for all 17 weeks. How cool would that be?
It wouldn't be cool because we stink, bro.
I don't care. I'm just saying, at that point, it's about the journey. It's not
His
about.
Kids won't be in college for another 10 years.
Yeah, I got wait.
Oh, hell yeah. Hey, Sam, how might still be there?
Patrick Mahomes Andy Reid will fleece this team one more time. And Patrick Mahomes will be a commander, and
we got the truth. We got the Iceman, Sam Howell.
I mean, Sam Howell could still be here. He'd be 30, he'd be 38. Yeah, or thinking about retiring and then unretiring and
never know.
Following Brett Favre's footsteps. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
A couple more comments here. Deuce has 23-27 Falcons. Okay.
Russell Wilson's still going to stink.
So Deuce and I are both picking Atlanta to win this one. Ryan says fantasy help. Josh Jacobs or Swift this weekend.
Swift.
What are the man? I gotta go look at the games this week. So Josh Swift or who? Taylor Jacobs.
Jacobs.
Sorry, DeAndre Swift.
I'm gonna go with Swift.
Taylor Jacobs.
I know.
Yeah, Taylor Jacobs, man, the receiver. That's a jersey you need to find.
Mr. 9 career catches or whatever he has.
Josh Jacobs is the Raiders playing New England. New England's 1-4, or Swift playing the Jets at 2-3. New England's they're doing awful, man. I don't know. I would play Jacobs. That New York Jets defense is pretty good.
I go with Swift. Swift has been killing. You can't stop the Eagles from running, man.
You can't, but I'm just looking at it. I don't know. Swift has been doing well. Don't get me wrong.
I want Swift.
Swift right now.
I got Jacobs in fantasy football, so he ain't done shit.
Yeah, I mean Swift is also he's got 15 catches in the rain. Yeah, maybe Swift is a better all player just because he's a better overall player. It really depends. If the Patriots, they're talking about benching Mac Jones for Bailey Zapp, which means
Western Kentucky, baby.
Means.
Go for the Louisville dude. Put the Louisville man in, dog. Put Malik in.
Which means Vegas will be winning, which means they'll be running, which means Josh Jacobs will be getting.
Zappy's better than him. I'm trying to tell y'all, dog. Zappy's dope.
What's up, Dave? So let's get a W. Thank you for tuning in, man.
Pick Zappy up in fantasy football, fellas. Zappy can throw.
Yes, Deuce. I'm a stander. Sometimes I stand when I pod. Our show's been going 1 hour and 5. It's good for my back. I got a bad back. I don't like to sit all the time, but yes, I stand.
No, Marcus.
I move around. I like to stand sometimes. Marcus says rally captain Stephen Boyd goes to every game. That's right. And the team has finally taken over. It used to be Redskins rally back in the day. So the team has finally taken over the away game rallies, which is awesome to see because Redskins rally was cool. You could go into the Redskins app and look at Redskins rally, which showed you where all of the bars were supposed to be. And so the team finally took that over. I'm trying to remember what they call it now. I think they call it rally parties. I know they're doing one at Tap Sports Bar, MGM National Harbor, but they're also doing it. What do they call them? I forget. Deuce probably knows. There's a name they're calling these rallies that they go to all the away games. So you can meet up anywhere and everywhere with your fellow fans wherever you are. So Marcus says, Dev, do you think Louisville goes to the college football playoffs?
No. Man, I think even if they went undefeated, it'd be hard. They might take a team from the ACC. And I do think if they went out, this game they got Pittsburgh Saturday, then they have Duke, which they lost their quarterback for the season. They should win that. There's no one else I fear the rest of the year. And if they went out, they would probably play Florida State in the ACC championship, and they beat the shit out of a better Florida State last year with one of the worst coaches in the ACC. Coaching us. You know what I'm saying? So in Satterfield, he's a complete bum. So, man, I'm telling you, man, who would have thought? Who would have thought, man? But I think Louisville definitely makes it interesting, especially if they went out. If they went out, man, they make it interesting, man.
Here we go. Deuce said it. Road rallies. There it is right there. They have them lined up for the rest of the year with Atlanta, New York, New England, LA. So that's pretty cool. If you're in Atlanta, it's at the Pour Tap Room. You can RSVP. It's Saturday, the day before the game. So,
hey, by the way, Rally Captain, for those who aren't familiar with some of the names in the fan base, good dude.
Awesome. Stephen Boyd. Fantastic.
Great dude.
We'll always
telling y'all, pick Zappy up, by the way, in fantasy football, man. If you got like a spot, you ain't got no quarterback. Zappy's going to throw, man. Zappy can throw that ball, man.
I thought that Josh McDaniels was going to trade for him before they got Garoppolo and bring him over to New England.
Zappy can throw, bro.
He can.
He
played well at the end of last year, but all right. Shout out to everyone who jumped in the chat with us today. Marcus, Dave, Deuce, Ryan. We had a lot of guys earlier on. Excuse me. Rivers, Greg from Facebook, Mr. Titan, Aaron, Sharon, Nigel, James, Nicholas. You guys, your banter earlier on was pretty dope. I appreciate it.
Man,
that really got us started. Dev's in the chat.
Marcus. I never knew that, Marcus, by the way, about Louisville got a Redskins bar, Wix Pizza in the Holland. Joe Jacoby is there. I never knew that. I have been to Wix Pizza. I never knew that was a Redskins bar.
Go check it out.
I am, man.
Check it out.
I went to the Louisville game. I don't know if you was hearing I said it earlier. I went to Louisville versus the Notre Dame game. I plan on going to one more this year, I hope. As long as it ain't cold. Yeah. It was a pretty fun time.
That's awesome. Dave, give you 1 minute, man, if you want to throw a prediction in the chat here. Like I said, if anyone pegs it, we'll send you a jersey for free. No one's ever gotten it in the 3 years we've been doing this show. So it's kind of like free money.
Which I appreciate that you all don't do these things, because I was 1 point off on scores 4 different times in the season.
Phil got the consolation prize. Man. That was a training camp signed Washington football team pylon signed by Bryce Love, who Phil had a affection for, and unfortunately he did not work out. What round did we pick Bryce Love in?
4th, 5th,
okay.
Something like that.
Yeah, because he was coming off an ACL. He was coming off an ACL that year.
He just never recovered.
We sure thought he was going to be that good.
I thought he was, man.
Yeah, for sure. All right, we're going to shut this one down. Thank you for tuning in. If you watch this with us all the way, we appreciate it. Check out the audio pod. Hit our link tree, available on all your audio podcast platforms: Apple, Google, Spotify, iHeart, Odyssey, all those cool places. Check us out on YouTube. You can check us out on our social media. We are there. We are around. We have a live chat in our Washington Football Addicts Facebook group, 7K strong on game days, that we like to keep our chatter in there and talk about how the game's going. So we appreciate you guys. We will be back Monday for our post-game live stream against the Falcons, hopefully with a W in our hands. But until then, we'll catch you guys on the flip side. We appreciate you. As always, peace and hail. We're out.